So E3 happened recently, and you all had better things to do than sit through hours of boring panels with people pretending to be hyped for Madden 20XX.
Madden fans, I am your host, Adam Rank. Nobody. One person applause break.
Everybody knows all about the Cyberpunks, the Xboxes, the Final Fantasies, the Keanu Reeveses. Instead of wasting your time talking about every little thing, I'm just going to tell you what games look cool, what sucks, and what the hell people were thinking about this year's E3. So let's just get this shit started. Age of Empires 2, Definitive Edition. I remember playing this game back in the computer lab in middle school, and we ran the entire game off a single disc, a whole 4-person LAN. It looks exactly like the same game, but that nostalgia really brings in the big bucks. Animal Crossing, New Horizons. Tom Nook literally charges you money to fly to a deserted island and live there. This guy is either an expert salesman, or all the animals in this world are complete idiots. Baldur's Gate 3. On the topic of classics, whoever thought we'd ever see another Baldur's Gate? I feel like nobody else I talked to has played it, but all the old fans came out of the woodwork for this one. Oh, and the trailer makes the city look sort of like King's Landing for some reason. I don't really remember that from the original. Banjo-Kazooie and Smash. The hype levels for this were beyond them even announcing a new Banjo game. Praise Sakurai. Blair Witch, a movie that everybody either loved or hated, being made into a game 20 years after it came out. The trailer just sort of looks like Outlast 3. Also, why is James from Silent Hill in it? Bleeding Edge. And here we have Borderlands 3. Oh. Borderlands 3. And here we have Borderlands 3. The only game that could possibly redeem Gearbox after the whole Battleborn debacle. Yeah, bet you haven't heard that name in a while. Cyberpunk 2077. Cyberpunk fans, CD Projekt Red fans, and Keanu fans all gathered together to collectively lose their minds. Probably gonna be pretty good, but we'll just wait and see. Deathloop. Dishonored/Prey making some 70s themed sci-fi. I'm a sucker for the studio's game design, so it'll probably be pretty cool. Doom Eternal. You guys want more demon shooting? You got more demon shooting. Dying Light 2. The first one was surprisingly good for a co-op zombie game, and I'm not that into zombie games, so more of that works for me. Elden Ring. George R.R. Martin likes to write long stories. From Software likes to write almost no stories, although the fans will probably kill me for saying that. It's gonna have some great combat, whatever it is. Final Fantasy VII Remake. Yeah, we said we were remaking the game, but we only did like the first act of the game. I guess that's gonna sell it well enough. I mean, it is kind of split into 2 separate games. Either way, the hype is on. Final Fantasy VIII Remastered. The graphics in this game are what you probably thought Final Fantasy VIII actually looked like, but it was seriously much worse. The Evil Within girl. In an effort to reduce cringe E3, now we're getting kawaii E3.
ありがとうございます。
She seems like the successor to Mikami, the guy that created Resident Evil, so we'll probably be seeing lots more of her in the future. Ghostwire Tokyo. Tokyo got all raptured up and some ghost gangs started popping up everywhere. You shoot them with a bow or something. I don't know, they didn't really show much of the gameplay, but it looks cool. Halo Infinite. Master Chief, what are you doing back on this console almost 10 years after you officially said that the franchise was going to end? Collecting my paycheck? No, I mean finishing this fight. Right, that's what you're supposed to say. Pupper intermission time. Keanu in Cyberpunk. Keanu's E3 appearance has already been memed to death, so I won't drill it into your head anymore. He totally deserves it though.
You're all breathtaking.
Get this man in some more games. LEGO Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga. The sad thing about this is that the LEGO Star Wars games are much better than any other recent Star Wars game. Luigi's Mansion 3. What if Ghostbusters but Luigi? And thus an entire subculture was born. Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games Tokyo 2020. I think the title's even longer than this, but that's what I'm calling it. Make Mario and Sonic fight to the death, you cowards. Marvel's Avengers, A-Day. Does this Square Enix, Disney, Marvel conglomerate mean that Avengers will be in Kingdom Hearts 4? That's a terrible prospect. Please don't do that. The Sinking City. Cthulhu in a City? Moons of Madness. Cthulhu in Space? Battletoads. The Madmen really went and did it. They revived a franchise that literally nobody cared about beyond memes. They're either geniuses or they're gonna make a lot of meme money. Phantasy Star Online 2. This is a game that was released in Japan and promised to come to the West about 10 years ago. As they say, life finds a way. Psychonauts 2. I didn't play the first one, but the die-hard fans are out in droves this week. Goes to show that anything is possible with enough social media begging. Breath of the Wild sequel? That's some major hype. The map might be exactly the same. That's a lot less hype. but I guess we'll just wait and see. Shenmue 3, wow. Shenmue fucking sucks. I played all through 1 and 2 with a friend when they came out. We constantly asked ourselves why we were playing through these torturous games. It's like, amazing, these games simulated real life. Everybody said that was so awesome. You know why games generally don't simulate real life? Because waiting 30 minutes for a 1-minute cutscene only to then have to do it all over again is awful game design. Anyways, enjoy the game, Shenmue fans. Clearly there's enough of you guys out there to get this made, so I'm happy for you. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, another Star Wars game. I predict it'll sell really well and get forgotten quickly like every other Star Wars game. Stranger Things 3. Remember when people got beat up in Stranger Things? Remember how that was 90% of every episode? Yeah, me neither. Tales of Arise. The Tales of is codename for weeb shit, and that's coming from somebody who actually plays weeb games. The Dark Crystal Age of Resistance Tactics. This one truly baffles me. It's a weirdo David Bowie movie about gremlins from the 80s, and it's somehow getting remade into a Final Fantasy Tactics clone. The sheer absurdity of this concept really got into my head. Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening remake. It's cute. The Outer Worlds, like Fallout, but also Borderlands. It's truly the next Skyrim with guns. Trials of Mana. What happened to the Mana series? I swear they weren't so incredibly generic in the past. Or maybe that's just the nostalgia, I don't know. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. This is a sequel to a game beloved by role players, vampire wannabes, and Second Life edgelords. Might be good. It'll definitely have an embarrassing fanbase though. Watch Dogs Legion. Haha, I can be a grandma with a gun. It's funny because a grandma would not use a gun in real life. This is a very comical situation. This is their whole marketing plan. Xbox Elite Wireless Controller. Damn, that is one expensive controller. Xbox Project Scarlet. Every time they announce a new Xbox game, they give it a fancy code name. Then it comes out and it's like they just gave up. Don't believe me? One console they named was codenamed Project Scorpio. Fancy, right? You know what it's called now? Xbox One X. Somebody please send help to Phil Spencer. Sony wasn't there. Kojima forced Sony to spend its whole marketing budget this year on Death Stranding, so obviously they couldn't make it to the show. So yeah, that was pretty much this year's E3 in a nutshell. I didn't mention something in here that means it was probably the worst game of all time and you're terrible if you like it. Or maybe I just missed it. I'm not the video game police. Leave a comment and tell me what you thought about this year's E3. Maybe we'll all find something cool to check out. Until next time, everybody.